name, the parish affiliation, the community, and you introduce yourself to the public.
Okay, thank you very much. So I am Father Richard Nyoombi, but here usually the people want to differentiate between the secular diocesan priests and then the missionaries of Africa, especially the missionaries of Africa, the White Fathers. So they call Pere Nyoombi.
Wow.
Pere Nyoombi. So I'm Father Richard Nyoombi of the Society of the Missionaries of Africa, but here locally it is mostly known as the White Fathers. But as you see, I'm not white, so I am a black white father. I am a black white father. So I belong to that Institute of the Missionaries of Africa, and well, presently I'm here at our house, Lodell House. It's like the provincial house for us. Yes, and serving in different ministries. But I'm originally from Uganda, and I come from Masaka Diocese.
Oh, wow.
But I'm working in the Archdiocese of Kampala. So I'm a missionary here.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
That's great.
Yes, sister.
So how long have you been in the missionaries of Africa? How long have you been a missionary priest?
Sister, before you were born,
I know.
I was a white father.
Yeah, sure.
So you see, sometimes the religious, when you say how many years, sometimes you count from postulants.
That is true.
So if I'm to count from postulants or whatever aspirants, so as an aspirant, I think I go back to 1979 when I was in the major seminary in Katigondo, when I encountered candidates for the White Fathers or the Missionaries of Africa. So that's when the idea came, and in 1981, I applied to join the formation of the Missionaries of Africa. So from 1981, I was fully in the formation of the White Fathers, and then I made my oath. So the oath makes me a full member of the society, and that was in 1988 in February. And then the same year I was ordained a priest, 1988. So from 1988 to today, I think it comes up to almost, I'm approaching 40 years. Yes,
That's
40
great.
years, yes.
Okay, Father. Besides priesthood ministry, you have other role or any department that you are working in. Would you please tell us?
Well, I think beside the priestry, I'm a missionary. So I've been a missionary in different countries. I was in North Africa, Algeria, where the first missionaries left to come. Even our congregational institute was founded there. So I've been a missionary in North Africa, Algeria. I've been a missionary in Italy, in Rome, in our generate. I've been a missionary in Tanzania. I was in Tabora, the parish. And also in Kenya, I was in our formation house as a formator. And then in Uganda also quite a number of years I've been here in the parish. So beside being, I'll say, a priest, I'm a missionary. Before I am a priest, I am a missionary.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yes.
Otherwise, what are the other activities I've been involved in? My formation was more oriented towards inter-religious dialogue, and especially dialogue with the Muslims. So Christian-Muslim dialogue, I made my studies in that line. I studied Arabic, I studied Islamics, and then also what the church teaches about inter-religious dialogue. And I've been a formator, a teacher, and more in that line of teaching Islam and Islamics and a bit of Arabic. And then other activities, I have been a promoter of the Uganda Martyrs here in Uganda, especially when we are celebrating 60 years of their canonization in 2024. And I'm also the promoter of the cause of Father Simeon Laudel, Mapera, and Brother Amos, the first two missionaries here, and to see that they are also beatified and canonized as the Ugandan martyrs. Otherwise, those are the most activities I've been involved in. And then here in the Archdiocese for the last few years, I've been the vicar for the religious in the Archdiocese of Kampala up to now, yes.
So we are in safe hands when we are here.
Oh, very safe, very safe.
Security
so guru guru. Yes.
Thank you so much, Father. Now, as I said earlier, we are nearing to celebrate the Uganda Martyrs Day, and this is an international celebration where not only Ugandans who celebrate, it is in fact worldwide. The Catholic understands what the Uganda Martyrs are, but now for you, what do you understanding of the story of the Uganda Martyrs within the Catholic tradition? Yeah, what is your understanding on their story?
Yes. Now, my understanding, I can have different approach to the Ugandan Martyrs. First of all, I think I start as a missionary of Africa, because these are our spiritual children.
And you played a bigger role in bringing the religion in Uganda.
Yes.
So you can base that.
Yeah. So when I look at the Ugandan martyrs, I see them as our spiritual. They are our spiritual sons, and I think we are proud that those first one who were really catechized, evangelized, they stood for their faith. But at the same time, I think now, as a missionary of Africa today, then I go back to those first missionaries that those martyrs saw, and they were convinced that what they told them, they were even ready to die for. So I think they learned something from those first missionaries. Yes. So I think that the first approach for me for the Ugandan martyrs is to go back as member of that congregation institute which evangelized them. But then also I look at them as a Ugandan, because I think there is nothing which has given us, I would say, prestige or glory in the country than the Ugandan martyrs. And so I'm proud of that, but then also it is a challenge. Am I able to stand for what they stood for? Am I able to witness up to giving my life as them? So yes, I glorify in them, but then I'm challenged in my faith. Is my faith as strong? Then I am also proud of those martyrs. You see, when we are looking at these matters, we try to look at them in which way I'm near to them, either what they did, how they lived their faith. But then also for us here in Buganda, we have the clans. So some of these martyrs, they are members of our clans. So I have one, Tonsi Nyoombi, is my great-great-grandfather.
Wow.
So is also, I can look at him in that aspect, and it still comes back to challenge me. Am I able living my faith as my great-grandfather? Am I ready to give my life? So that's, and then as a Christian, I think a Ugandan Christian, the martyrs are there as models. The martyrs are not there first to intercede for us, but as models for us, how to live a Christian faith, morals, virtues, and how to closely follow Jesus by carrying our cross up to the end. So, and then I also look at these martyrs that they were Protestants and Catholics, both they died for the same faith. So they are a model of Christian unity, ecumenism. So those are different perspectives, where my understanding, and I think that's what we should try to understand them, not globally like that, but look at them, the work they were doing. Am I doing the same work? For example, you see these martyrs, each one is an intercessor for a category of people. And that category of people is more often corresponds to the virtues which were identified in those martyrs and the work they were doing. Yes.
Okay, Father. Now, how do you perceive the significance of the Uganda matters in the history of the Catholicism in Uganda?
So the significance, again, I go back to that famous saying of Tertullian, who says that the blood of the martyrs is the seed of Christianity or the church. So, and I think that is very clear here in Uganda. These martyrs, they are going to die just 6 years after the first missionaries had arrived. And it is after their death that Christianity is going even to spread more. So I don't have to explain how, but it is the fact. Just show the fact. They were killed, and then more people came into the church, more people embraced Christianity. So I think that significance of sacrifice up to the end can bear fruits. So they were not doctors of theology. They knew very little. Their catechism was very rudimentary, and even the language they were using was, did they understand what they were saying? Because some of these technical terms they were using were from Latin to, and then pronounced in Uganda. So I think the significance is once again to show that this faith is not so much here, but it is the faith in the heart. They took wholeheartedly what was taught to them, and they were ready to die for it. And I think when we die for such ideals, even if the body is gone, but you stay remembered, and I think that can bear fruit. As today, you can say that I think the Uganda martyrs continue to evangelize us. But to evangelize us, we have to know their lives, how they lived. So, and use them for catechism, to teach catechism, not abstract, but what they lived and they died for. Yes.
In your view, what lesson does the Uganda Martyrs sacrifice teaches contemporary Catholics? Like, for them, they sacrificed their life.
Yes.
For the faith. What do you think the Ugandan Christian can learn from them?
I think just looking at the society in Uganda today, when you see our society, the Ugandan today, we don't have ideals in our lives. We change. We change it from the wind blows there. You see somebody who is a Catholic, but he's also with the Pentecostals, is praying with that, he's going back to the traditional. So we don't take a decision for good and say, this is my ideal and I'm ready to die for. We change. You just even look at the political scene. Today I am a member of this party. Tomorrow I will change because of the earthly things. Yes, earthly things, earthly interest, money, glory, and so on. And that's not the matters. They knew they had chosen Jesus and they were ready to die. Today, very few people will, I think in Uganda, they are there who have their idea. But as a society, we are changing here and there, and I think we are, that relativism is okay. can be this, I can be this, and it's okay. So I think that really the Ugandan Martyrs, they are a lesson. Now, as I said, there was already the ecumenical aspect. Today we have to work together, and it is not yet there 100%. There are some activities we do, but it's not yet there. That Catholics and Protestants, looking at the Ugandan Martyrs who were burned, they are condemned because of their faith, and they walk together from Munyonyo to Namugongo, and the majority were burnt on the same fire. So that aspect of walking together, these days we speak about synodality, but I think now that synodality is not only within the church, but also with all the believers and all people of goodwill. So I think that we learn from the Ugandan Martyrs, and then I think also something that a lesson from them is non-violence. Uganda is a society marked by violence. We are very violent. Innocent people are being killed. Recently we saw the 4 children who were killed in Gaba. We are very violent, but in the martyrs of Uganda, but also all the other martyrs, going back to Jesus, there is no violence in them towards those who persecute them, who kill them. They don't try to fight back. That's what we have in the Ugandan Martyrs. They prayed for Mwanga, they prayed for Mukajanga, but they never made up an uprising So I think that's a very big lesson for us here in Uganda, the non-violence of in the spirituality of martyrdom.
Now, Father Richard, that brings us to a question. We always gather for the celebration as Uganda Martyrs. People come from far and near to commemorate this day.
Yes.
And we go to Namugongo focusing that I'm going to pray to the Uganda Martyrs to intercede for me. And sometimes we have realized that in the place where we have gone to pray, we found, as you've said, violence. We find people who come with a different intention because they are coming in the name of, they are going to celebrate, but they come with a different intention of, again, intending to kill. Do you think from your observation, as from the time you learned that there is a celebration of 3rd June to date, how do you see these celebrations now made? How do the Ugandans commemorate this day? Are we really in the right track? What's your observation now in the commemoration of the Uganda Martyrs Day?
Well, I think the best way to commemorate any saint, even to remember Jesus, is by doing what they did. Love what they loved and hate what they hated. So I think that's the best way. Now this aspect of pilgrimage, because they are now, Namgongo is that aspect of pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is one of the ways of spirituality practice. In Uganda before, even before I could say, okay, after the Ugandan martyrs, they had been killed, but before they were beatified and canonized, this aspect of pilgrimage was not very developed. But now that it is now part of our spirituality, thanks to the Ugandan martyrs. Because when you see the places where we go for pilgrimage, they are mostly only those where the Ugandan martyrs, either they were born, they were baptized, or they died from. So those are and this spirituality, I think we still have to explore it, because it reminds us that we are passing. We have to purify ourselves. So we commemorate by going to Namugongo. Millions now, we speak of millions. as you have said, there are some who have come with erroneous intentions. But I think the majority, they come, they are seeking. You see in these people, they are seeking God. They are seekers of God. And I think not only those who come, but even those who will see these pilgrims on the TV, people walking for long distances, suffering and so on. I think it even brings them to think, but why? But why? So in itself only that people gather, I think there is something positive. And there is something positive. And I'm sure that of the million and so who come there, many go back, they are transformed or converted, and no more faithful to their religion, and also I think to put in practice what the martyrs did.
Now, for you, according to you, what spiritual meaning does the Uganda Martyrs Day hold in you as personally? What spiritual meaning does the Uganda Martyrs hold in you?
Well, I think spiritually, when you go back in our Christian religion, you will see that the first spirituality is about martyrdom. All the others, they just came out of that. But the first spirituality today, we have the Franciscans. I don't know whether you have the Teresian spirituality. Yeah. For us, the White Fathers, we have the Ignatian spirituality, which is the Jesuits. So you have all these, but the mother spirituality is martyrdom. Somebody who gives his life for others, following in the footsteps of Jesus. And Jesus was always saying, whoever wants to come and follow me must deny himself, take up his or her cross and follow me. And then he will be very clear that you will be persecuted as they have persecuted me, and even be killed. So that's what Jesus taught, and that's what we are going to see. All the apostles, they were killed. They died. All the apostles except I think St. John. They died. And as the church was starting, the spirituality was martyrdom. So I think I've meditated a lot on that spirituality, which is the mother spirituality of all of us. All this, I think, we have to go back. So I think we have to explore more. What does it entail? And I think there's two things usually for this martyrdom spirituality. One is that they have conquered the earthly desires. And so they are not looking, the martyrs, they are not looking for earthly desires. And you say that most of our problems, they are going to be material things, money, glory, and so on. For them, that's nothing. The martyrs, they are, even when we think about the Uganda martyrs, we say they were still young people. Their future was bright. They were going to be the future chiefs, the future judges in the kingdom, but they said no, that's nothing. We are ready to follow Christ. So I think, and that's the fight we have to go on up to the end. The earthly things, not to take us from the direction in which we are. Our life is, we are on a journey at the end. And then, surely, the fear of death. The Uganda martyrs, I mean not the Uganda martyrs, but all the martyrs, when they are going towards their death, it's the door. They will embrace death, like St. Francis is going to call death, I think, my sister death. Because that's the only way. So there is no fear. And you see that most of the things people do, it is out of fear of death. Or to be taken away from the earthly. So I think when we reflect more deeply, The Ugandan Martyrs, they once again invite us to go to the core of our spirituality as Christians. And that's to not to be taken by earthly things, and then to stick, of course, on the teaching of Jesus, and if need be, give our lives for that ideal in which we believe in. Yes.
Now, how do the Uganda Martyrs inspire Catholics in Uganda today?
Well, I think by the fact that many people they commemorate them on that day, that thousands, some go to Namgongo, but others also in different places. So they are affected. That celebration, it's like how does the Eucharist affect people? They go every day, and you know how Catholics want. So I think also that this devotion to the Ugandan Martyrs that people have, people are going to name their children after the Ugandan Martyrs. People are going to name their businesses after the Ugandan Martyrs. Schools are named after the Ugandan Martyrs. So I think indirectly they are affecting us. They are affecting us, those Ugandan Martyrs. But I think we have not exploited enough how much they could even affect us, influence us in our way of dealing with other people, and our way, vision of society, and all the virtues that we see in them. Yes.
Now, Father, have you ever attended the Uganda Martyrs Day celebration here in Namgongo?
Many times.
Which experience have you had year after year?
Many. So, well, the first experience I think is that you see there is a growth for us who have seen how, and even when you follow the history of the pilgrimage and celebration of this day, you see that there is a growth, and that growth is not for nothing. More Ugandans are coming, but even outside Uganda, outside Africa. So it's not for nothing if we meditate on it. So that for me, once again, I think that experience shows that people who die for ideals and then religious ideals, they continue to have an impact on us. They continue to have an impact on us. Now, for me, of course, one of the major pilgrimage and celebration that I have had, one of them was the visit of the Pope Francis. Pope Francis, he visited, and I had the chance to be there and to make a translation, his homily into French. Wow, who am I? When I go back, who am I that they could choose from? Oh, and they say poor missionary from Narozari in Masaka to be the translator. So for me, I always reflect, and I reflect very much on that homily, which was inviting us to, he was saying, fan into flame the spirit which is in us, which was the same spirit which pushed the Ugandan Martyrs to die for their faith. So he told us that the Holy Spirit is there. The Holy Spirit is, from the baptism we receive the Holy Spirit, and it's the same spirit that the Ugandan Martyrs received. So it is always there, but we need to fan it so that it burns into charitable, and even be able to, well, I think to sacrifice many things, and if need be, to die for our faith. Yes.
Do you think participation, like for example, we have this year we have Kasese to admit.
Yes.
What in their participation, do you think they have, it deepens their faith, their identity, their unity?
Yeah, I think whenever you are to prepare a celebration, whichever celebration, and you have to call in different people to participate, share their ideas and so on, we can do this and this. So I think that builds up the unity. There is always that unity. By just the fact that you are preparing, you have to think about the songs which have been sung, why choose this song and not, why compose this song, you choose a theme. So I think as a diocese preparing, it helps to unite them as a diocese. It helps them, and I think each diocese, they feel proud when they have led us in that celebration. And the fact that also there is that system, policy, that we move from one diocese to another, it helps us also as a church, a Catholic church in Uganda. And I think it's the only activity which brings the Catholics together to participate, to reflect more than any other. And as a country, I think it is the most unifying event, the Grand Martyrs. There is no other. There is no other. You can see even independence, which used to unite all of us, but now people don't. Some people, they don't even know that it is Independence Day, but people will know that it is Uganda Martyrs Day, and people will be following. So really, I think that aspect of uniting the Ugandans, the Ugandan Martyrs, they are, but we have not exploited enough, because you see, on that very day we are going to celebrate the Ugandan Martyrs, but the Protestants, they are there, and the Catholics are here, but the Ugandan Martyrs died together. Why can't we celebrate together that day? Why can't we celebrate? And recently there were superiors general who came from all over the world, and they were saying, how do you celebrate 3rd June? And I said, for Catholics we are here, and the Protestants, they are there. And the remark one made was, it's a pity that you cannot celebrate together that day. So maybe one day it will come. Maybe it is not the 3rd June, but find another moment which can bring
all of us.
Yeah, all of us. Not just a small, because I think in the past we used to have the bishops, Catholics could go to the Nachiyanja, and the others could also come here. Not the 3rd, but either the day, I think the day before. Yes, and they were also meeting together. But I think there is still something to explore how we can celebrate, but eventually not just on a celebration. I think one of the weaknesses in those celebrations that there is no follow-up. There is no follow-up afterwards. What happens? What happened after Namugongo? Yes.
How does the Uganda Martyrs import Catholic values such as faith, courage, and obedience to God?
Now, when you see the Ugandan Martyrs, for us, the Catholics, the 22, in each of the martyr, there were key virtues, heroic virtues, which were identified. And these are the ones that are presented that we imitate, the imitation. So we have the litanies, and that litanies, the litanies of the Ugandan Martyrs, we have two. There is one which is short, the longer one. Now the longer one shows you that in each one they say he was this and this, help us also to be like him. Yes. So I think there again, how do they? They do by just knowing. We have to know. And that's, I think, what is the whole devotion of the Ugandan Martyrs, and promotion of that devotion is to make them known who they were, and then also to be able to imitate them. Yes.
In what ways does the Catholic Church use the Uganda Martyrs story to teach morals and ethical lessons in the country and generally the Catholic Church.
Yes. Yes. Well, I think in which way it is through, especially through the preaching. So, for example, you see on the 3rd of June, surely whoever the bishop has prepared that homily is centered on the martyrs. So it is a proclamation about their lives and how it challenges us vis-a-vis the present situation. So even all those who have not come to Namugongo, they will also have the priests on that day. They will be, the preaching will be focused on the Ugandan martyrs. And then, of course, I think there is also the promotional in the catechism. There is something about the Ugandan martyrs. So in the catechism, as given here locally, there is also something about the Ugandan martyrs. So that is also, I think that the Catholic Church uses. And then once in a while we have had also the pastoral letters of the bishops, where they have tried to show how the lives of the Ugandan martyrs can help us face the different challenges that we have in our countries. Yes.
And how do Uganda Matters influence Catholic youth ministries and catechesis in Uganda?
How does it now? I think now this depends on in each, I would say on the different levels, whether it is at the diocesan or the vicariates or the parishes, how those who are in charge of the youth, the animators, the youth chaplains, how they also portray the Ugandan martyrs as a model for the youth, because the Ugandan martyrs majority were young people. So how do they? So I think here we have to look at each diocese, the youth department, the youth chaplains. They also, there are many, I mean, for the animation of the youth, but also the Ugandan martyrs could be part, and especially that they majority they were young people, young people who made a decision. One of the challenges today we see with the youth is to decide about their lives, what type of work I'm going to do, about marriage, even about their faith. Well, the Ugandan martyrs are there as a model, yes. But if those animators of the youth, they also, they know about it and then they use it in their animation.
Now, Father, what challenges do Catholics face today that can be compared to those faced by the Uganda Matters?
The challenge, I think, we face, I would say, is the link between faith and morals. So when they speak about that time, the morality at that time, today we speak about decadence or degradation of the morals. It existed at that time. But then we are going to see that these Ugandan martyrs, they had to face it. Though they were ways of life which were incompatible with the Christian teaching. And they decided to leave that and go for that, for what the morals, Christian morals, and they insisted on that. And I think today it's the same. One of the things that at that time was a challenge, and especially in the palace, because most of these, as we know, they were working in the palace, it was the issue of homosexuality. It was a big issue at that time, and it's one of those who could say reasons which those future Ugandan martyrs were fighting against, that is going also to push them to be killed. Yes, because some of the big people, even the king, were involved, and then they were saying no, we have to fight against that, and that was one of the reasons. And we see it today, it is there. It is as if it has come back, and I think there the Ugandan Martyrs, they are really a model. So I think morals and faith have to go together, and that's what we see in the Ugandan Martyrs. And usually when you really follow the morals, you are going to create problems with those who don't, who feel they are challenged, and eventually they might even kill you. Yes.
We have to accept it and die as martyrs, because they are our fathers in faith.
Yes, and they were even some, they said, that job, the king is giving me that job, but he's putting me in temptation. I don't accept that job, which today would be difficult. People, if you are given, but you know that eventually then you have to follow what the others think and do, then the grandmothers are there to say, in your conscience, you say, no, I don't. And that is a sacrifice. It is really killing, because you are going to get salary, money to help your family and so on. But then you say, you know, that will put me in a situation which will lead me to sin. Yes.
Okay, Father. How can the Uganda Martyrs example guide Catholics in responding the modern day persecutions or moral dilemmas?
Well, as I've just said, that for them, faith and morals went together. So they don't know that relativism, or just say, I'm Christian on Sunday, but during the week I do other things. So for them, morals, way of life, had to go with the teaching. And where it was incompatible, then that's where now they are even going to say, well, the king says that, but for us, there is a King of Kings. So they chose to follow the King of Kings rather than, not that because they were not respecting the king, they were very respectful. And we can even say that up to the end they were obedient, because he says, okay, tomorrow you have to come to be here, and they were there. And then they say, or he says, okay, those the readers there, and they say, okay, you go there, and they went there. You are condemned, and they moved. They didn't say, okay, we fight or what. No, they were obedient and respectful to the king. But as far as when it was against their faith, they had to decide to die for the idea.
Okay, Father, thank you so much. In your own opinion, how does the Uganda Martyrs Day contribute to national unity and Catholic identity in Uganda?
Well, as I said already before, there is no day, there is no event that we celebrate in Uganda, and I would even say in Africa, which unites all people of different categories, tribes, rich, poor, the intellectuals, or those who have nothing. All, it's the only event which brings us together. And presently in Uganda, the crisis we are going through, which has divided our country on different levels, whether tribal, political, rich, poor, it's that one. And I think we should be thankful to God for this gift, but now how are we using it?
Father, what personal devotion or prayer practice do you associate with the Uganda Martyrs?
Well, the first one is the pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a prayer.
Yeah.
So pilgrimage, going to these different places. I like to go very much to Namugongo, of course, Munyonyo, so the places where the martyrs died from. But also to the places where they were born. The places, so they have a contact. So pilgrimage, prayer of pilgrimage. That pilgrimage, and we take it, what is pilgrimage? It's not just only to go there, but what it is a spiritual journey. So pilgrimage, I think, is one of those devotions is in the footsteps of the Ugandan martyrs, in the places where they were born, places where they are baptized, and also where they died. So pilgrimage is one. Now, prayers that I can have at whether in my personal prayer or when we have Saturdays, just that short prayer, Ugandan martyrs pray for us. That prayer, at the beginning, when it was the whole devotion of the Ugandan martyrs was being developed, and the Ugandan Martyrs Guild, which was started, that prayer was there was how do you call it, indulgence, which was linked to that. So I think the late Bishop Stresha, when he was founding the Ugandan Martyrs, so that Uganda Martyrs pray for us, so there was an indulgence tied on it. If you say 50, then you have. So if it is very short, but then it gives you your you repeat it as you repeat Hail Mary, and so mentally it will bring you to think about the Ugandan martyrs. So that prayer, and then of course the litanies. The litanies of the Ugandan martyrs, as I said, you have the short one, but it would be better to have the long one, because the long ones, they show you in each one that you should imitate. It's not only to pray for us, pray for me to receive this and this, but to imitate the virtues in each one. Yes.
Thank you, Father. What message would you give the young Catholics about the importance of remembering and honoring the Uganda martyrs?
Well, the youth, the thing is that the majority of the Uganda martyrs were young people. So they are there as a model to show that religion is not for old people or the children. It's the young people. If there is anything which has made Uganda known all over the world, it's not because the Pearl of Africa, because we have the good weather and so on. No, it's because of the Ugandan martyrs. The visit of the popes came here because of the Ugandan martyrs. But these Ugandan martyrs, they were young people. So the role of the Ugandan martyrs, I mean the youth in the church, but also in the running of the country, of society. These different people, some of them were key in the running of the government of the king. Some were they were the treasurers. Some could put them almost at the level of the ministers. Some were even expected to become prime minister, katikiro. So I think the young people, when we look at the Ugandan martyrs, they realize that they have their and I think it makes for us to say that no, the future is not for the youth. It's already now. It's already now, and that we see in the Ugandan martyrs. And then commitment. I think the challenge for the youth is lack of commitment. They don't want to commit themselves. And then, of course, in face of war, modernity and so on, which will make morals relative, where the Ugandan martyrs, I think at that time the society was becoming more open to the outside world. And we are going to see that the beginning of the Ugandan Martyrs Guild, which was started by Stresha, was to fight against materialism, relativism, morals, and so on. So I think that the young people have models in the Ugandan martyrs.
from whom they can copy and do accordingly.
Yes, and in life it is by imitation. You see, in our life, when a child is born, he or she will learn everything from what the others are doing. It's not by teaching them, but first of all by imitating. So the young people have models who challenge their lives.
Thank you so much, Father. Okay. Maybe you have another thing about the matters that you would like to add on what you've already shared?
I insist, I think one of the major points at the national level, is violence. The Ugandan martyrs and in the martyrs in general, and starting with Jesus, he was a martyr. He was a martyr. There is non-violence. Our country has been marked with violence, hatred. But the Ugandan martyrs, they had the same challenges, but they were reconciliation, forgiving, etc. But that aspect of violence is one of them, and I think which we have to learn from the Ugandan martyrs, and to love our country. I think in 1986, when the bishops were celebrating the centenary of the death of the Ugandan martyrs, they say, well, our motto, for God and my country, even if it was formulated years after, surround the independence, but they lived it. They were for their country and for their God, and they died for their country and for their God. So I think in them we have a model to live according to our motto, for God and my country. Yes.
Thank you so much, Father, for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for giving us this important information. I hope our viewers, our readers will be happy to have received this information.
And also Jaja, grandpapa, will be happy that the Bazukuru also, well,
they are getting it.
Yes, from our ancestors in faith,
sure.
the grandmothers. Yes, they are there, and I think they challenge us, even the present challenges that we face today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.